Oh, yes, we're back. It's the Date Master. We're checking in. Make sure when you come in, you like, you comment, subscribe. I have a very interesting topic today. And I've made several predictions and forecasts for the behavior of the modern day black woman. She's currently breaking. This is why you cannot pull them. You cannot pay a black woman $8 million to delete her social media. Her social media to her is priceless because it's her namesake. It's the way she keeps a clean resume. But in this situation here, you have, I think her name is Shakaya Perkins and Cornisha Butler, I believe. That's her name on the left. I'm noticing these stories coming out. And again, I've seen a lot of situations where it's more so, let's say, a domestic violence situation. In a lot of these cases, I see black women always in the midst of these. It's usually black women. And I've always said now, not always, but I have recently come to the conclusion that it's their fault. I have no sympathy, no empathy, no compassion for black women who end up in these scenarios. So people say, man, that's cold, Dave Master. Man, that's cold, man. Listen to me. Here you have a young black woman, and these are the alleged details. The black woman on the left was dealing with the butch LGBTQ woman on the right. And you notice, I'm a pause that for a minute. You notice how these LGBTQ massacres, such as Jeffrey Dahmer, all of these other serial killers, you know how they come out. You notice how the LGBTQ tries to denounce them or separate themselves from them. They don't want to adopt them in the same manner they would adopt an NFL player or an NBA player or a rapper or artist. You notice that? You notice how they house some of the most heinous, violent people in history? You notice that? But we'll talk about that on another video. Back to Miss Butler, may she rest in peace. I've always said, when you dig one grave, you dig two. Black women in this land have a propensity to think that they're smarter than everyone else, and particularly men. But they have the thing with this dynamic, which makes it more relevant. You had a woman portraying as a man. Therefore, this woman in some cases looked at her as masculine. So black women in this land, and in the West in particular, have a propensity to think that they're smarter than what they are. But if you look at their life's decisions and choices and current status and condition, that does not reflect. The same way when you see these women cap about their type, the type of men, they haven't seen a man in their life since their mother left their father. And in some cases, they never had a father, yet they think they're equipped to be stay-at-home wives. Think about this. You have women who are obese, come with multiple children by different baby daddies, openly admitting on Kendra G's, and not to plug her, but on Kendra G's platform, that they have children with dudes that are one-night stands. Yet they think that they're smarter than you. And this is a case right here. Stop playing with people's emotions. I tell men this as well. If I wanted to, if I really truly wanted to, I could be running amok. I can have a harem of women. I can have a harem. I can have them by the 10s and 20s if I so choose to. But I'm not a liar. I'm not a manipulator. And I don't go for easy pickings. I don't go for mentally and emotionally battered women. So I try to avoid. So I think until we get into the relationship, because women are good at masking themselves. Again, that's another topic for another video. But in this case, again, here you have a woman who has 4 children. Yes, you heard it right. She's a mother of 4. Straddling the fence of survival. I told you, when a woman goes into survival mode, there is nothing that she won't do. There is nothing that she won't do. There is nothing that she won't say to maintain or to survive. She will fake like she's LBGT when she's not. Hence the 4 kids. You know what? After this 4th child, I like women now. I see this all the time. And these women are, a lot of cases, in their 30s and 40s. After children, now stating that they like the same sex. This should speak to the level of intelligence right there. You have women who have families with men, and all of a sudden they want a woman. But they want a woman that dresses and acts and talks and speaks like a man. That's going to wear a contraption that's an artificial limb that a man really has. And you men get on the internet and on platforms and argue with these very same women. Who's the fool? If I go outside and argue with a stop sign, who's the fool? Me or the stop sign? That's why I said we are now in a dissing. This is the period in which we disengage. The podcasts and the platforms, you know, some for the younger generation, they may need that. Okay. But that time is coming when in my life. I really have no desire to get on platforms with women who I know don't have a clue of what they're talking about. Because in reality, if a woman really had game and knowledge about dating and relationships, she would not be on a platform talking to you about it. She would not be trying to build a platform and a podcast and etc., trying to discuss the very thing that she's living to. Because for a woman to live that dream with a man of value, she has no time for social media antics anyway. Because that man is going to give her something to do. We got shit to do. That trolling and, you know, banter that you do on social media all day, exposing your inept, not mental inept, but your lack of understanding on how life really works, on how relationships really work. If you really had a man of value, he would not be co-signing or even condoning that you're on social media every 5 minutes, hurling out ignorance. You see, the bad chicks that I follow on Instagram and the bad chicks that I dealt with, they don't do this. They don't really go on social media every day ranting and raving. You notice this? You only see a certain type of chick do this. But let's bring it back. These women play emotional games with men and with women who would I say presumably or allegedly identify as men. The bull dagger, the stud. Here is a case in which she tried to play on this woman's emotions. When you dig one grave, you might as well dig two. When people go for the easy and the shortcut and they try to play and they get their face blown off, I don't feel any sadness or any compassion. When you get your shit pushed back by playing with men's emotions, thinking that you're the smartest person in the room, thinking that you know more than what you do, trying to use that gaslighting manipulation. See, you can only do that to the initiated. This is why red pill and you hear these slick shots against red pill from women. That is their last attempt to try to neutralize the very threat that alleviates their whole premise. They try to neutralize and shoot anything down that they know for a fact. This is why they try to misidentify or miscategorize red pill content. They try to, it's misogynistic, man. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know the definition of misogyny. This is why they use it. They intentionally try to have these conversations on public platforms to try to discredit the title or the space. They try to make it a non-factor. They try to throw dirt on it, if you will, because they think they're the smartest. They know how to use social media, but they know who and where to have these conversations with. That's why I like Myron Gaines so much. He's going to shut all of that shit down off the gate. You women are playing games with your lives, trying to think or playing as if you're smarter than the person you're laying next to. And when they spank you or put you in the dirt, here come all the sad stories. Here come all the sad song. She shouldn't have did that. Yes, you should have. Stop. And I'm really talking to men. This is a cautionary tale for you because this can happen either way. Stop preying on these weak women. Stop preying on the emotionally battered, low-hanging fruit because they don't have anything to lose, which is why they will take you out. And in some cases, themselves. You're playing with emotions of people that are emotionally and mentally unstable. For you to look in a woman's face, telling the world that this is your lover when she's looking like a man, wearing a contraption like a man, when she's really not a man, that speaks to your intellect as well. It really speaks to your character because you know what you're doing, because it is reported allegedly that she was dealing with this woman, broke it off, filed a restraining order only to go back and date men. So she used this woman because a lot of the cases, these studs, which are more likely undesirable by men, they get on the grind. They become the providers that they never had in life. So these women spend a lot of money. I've been out of town, and I'm just out, and I see women on dates with these, same-sex dates, and you know how the date went. You know the stud paid the bill. You know the stud drove. You know the stud is leading. These women prey on these women's emotions and traumas and end up in the dirt. This can be you. Stop playing with people's emotions, because when they push your shit back, I'm not going to shed a tear for you. I'm not going to shed a tear because I know what you did. And if you're no longer here, let's say if you make it out, let's say it doesn't go to the extent of you losing your life. You know what you did as well. Y'all gonna stop playing with people's emotions. You know damn well that you're not LGBTQ with 4 fucking kids. But because you put yourself in a financial strength, you go and find this woman, prey on her emotional weakness and her traumas to what truly made her that way, and you try to get over. If you don't take anything that I say from my content or my videos, take this, ladies and gentlemen. If you dig one grave, you better dig another one, because you're not as smart as you think you are. And you play with the wrong person, they're going to put your ass in the dirt. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Day Master.